I've been in Chertsey on both sides of the river, knocking on doors, talking to people, talking to businesses, and my goodness me, they've had a rotten time of it there. And I suffered storm damage before Christmas in my house on the North Downs in Kent, and it's bad enough to, lose roof tiles and fences, but I mean flooding, my goodness me, horrible, because it's going to take a hell of a long time to sort out. I guess the bad news is that the Environment Agency say that between now and Sunday, the river could rise by a further 50 centimetres. And a general feeling that for the first few weeks, there was no one to help. People were just on their own, not knowing quite what to do. And if they had good neighbours, they were lucky. And if they didn't have good neighbours, they were struggling. And so there's something very wrong with our response to all of this. That what we need in this country is some form of civil defence corps where local committees of volunteers know if there's a flood or a blizzard, who does what. It's not actually very difficult to do this, and we used to do this. As soon as there was a local disaster, people knew what to do, and those that wanted to help could bolt on to the structure that already existed. I think with this plan for a civil defence corps and with the other plan, that if we just took a tiny portion of the foreign aid budget, which if you think about it is actually charity anyway, and we said to all these people, you will not financially lose out of this in what is an emergency for thousands of people, then I hope I've brought something positive to the national debate.
And how have people reacted? You've been knocking on doors. How have people reacted to your visit here?
Oh, I've not had any unpleasantness either here or in Somerset, and I think where politicians go wrong is they helicopter in, they have a photo shoot, and they disappear again. And I have actually been out talking to people and listening to what they have to say. But I must say, I didn't particularly enjoy this morning because I met a lot of very distressed people. It is going to get worse over the course of the next few days, but at least now there are people on the ground, and we're told there are nearly 2,000 soldiers on standby to help. So, now, as it gets worse, there are people to help. But to begin with, there wasn't a proper contingency. And do you know what? They've run out of sandbags now. They've run out. I mean, can you believe that? Frankly, having a store of sandbags and being prepared, having a contingency for things going wrong, surely is a basic rule of government, and it's failed.
Do you feel that there is anything kind of government level or more local level that could have been done to stop this happening?
No, you couldn't stop this. This is the most rain we've ever had in recorded history. We live on a floodplain, it's going to flood. It clears in the title. What could be better is communications. We'd like to know when things are going to come up, how high they're going to go. We still don't know. We're getting reports at the moment it's going to rise. Well, how much would be really useful to know if they can predict it?
I was down here at Hamm Court in January as the floodwaters from the last flood were going down, but this is much, much worse. Really just catching up with the local residents to find out whether there's anything specific that they need at the moment that isn't being done. There's a separate discussion here about policy and the policy on flood defences, dredging and so on, and I think we've got to have that discussion in slower time. But right now the issue is about what we need to deliver to people here and now to deal with the emergency situation they're facing. When it's all over, we need to have a debate about the policy that's been pursued, whether it's the right one, whether we can modify it in any way for the future.